Time for the Howling. Auga. I'm in salad and I saw The Howling. It is directed by Joe Dante. And this was a Patreon request. So if you want to request a movie, fast track that request, go to patreon.com/ASCpresents. So I had never heard of this film when it was recommended to me. I was like, whoa, a werewolf movie? I like werewolf movies. And I'm like super excited to watch it and whatnot. So the movie starts following this chick. She's a reporter. She works for the news, and she's a news anchor. That's what it's called, a news anchor. She's a news anchor, and she's working with the police to help contact and meet up with this guy, this serial killer guy that's stalking her. There's no particular reason why she's being stalked. She's just being stalked. Other than being famous, I guess that's a good enough reason for being stalked. But anyway, she goes to this secluded theater. This serial killer shows her really rough bondage porn. I'm just like, whoa. You can show this in theaters? What? What is going on? What timeline have I jumped into where this is a thing now? I want to be living in this timeline. She's, distressed because she has to be in a room with a serial killer who wants to kill her, presumably. I find this really hilarious. The cops who are supposedly helping her lose contact while she's helping with this case. She's like, oh, I'm in, guys, I'm in. And meanwhile, the other guys can't even hear her. And I'm like, ha, you're alone. That's so funny. But anyway, she's alone. Luckily, since she lost contact, the police officers were like, hey, we gotta send a couple of cops out to that theater. So they go to the theater. I find this fun because the serial killer is like, you can see me now. She turns around, can't even see him. I'm like, ha, you can't even see him. Or maybe that's how the audience is not supposed to see him, but maybe she does. When she sees him, you can barely see him. It's like his top of his head is illuminated by the projector. And it's like super hairy head. So I'm like, ooh, this is a werewolf. Ooh, we're dealing with a werewolf. Ooh, I'm so excited. And she screams, and the cops come and shoot the guy. Now she's hunky-dory, but when she's about to talk on the news about this incident, she clams up. She cannot remember. She has amnesia, trauma-induced amnesia, which is very sad. And I'm just like, trauma-induced amnesia. How do you deal with that? Your therapist should suggest going to this secluded place. Even if it were my therapist, I still wouldn't trust him to send me to a secluded place. Luckily, she brings her husband, Bill, and it's unfortunate that he's not a bill collector. Ha! That was a forced joke. But she was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this place. It seems really pretty, and it is pretty. On this beach area, it's with a cool cabin. I really like the cabin. I would definitely live in a cabin if I were the patient, even though I wouldn't trust the therapist. I'd be like, ah, yeah, therapy time. What a better place to therapize than somewhere alone with a bunch of random people that you don't know that look weird. But there's this one person, Martha is her name. She's really cool. I like her dress. I like her outfit. And it's quite unfortunate that she has the hots for Bill and tries to push herself on her. I like Bill's reaction. Bill's reaction is like, no! And like aggressively just like shoves her off of him. I'm like, you go, girl. You go, boy. I'm just like, Martha, why did you just want to force yourself on someone who's unwilling? That's not good. After the scene where we're talking about him going hunting with a bunch of dudes, needing guns because there's wolves outside, guess what he does? He doesn't bring a gun outside at night with wolves. You should bring a gun. That's my hot take. You should bring a gun if you're gonna go alone outside. But he doesn't, and so he gets what he deserves. He gets attacked by a werewolf. He doesn't know what it is, but I know it's a werewolf. So he's like, oh no, big attacked, I gotta need help. And he goes back to the cabin, and just nothing really else spooky happens until Bill is like, I'm gonna have sex with Martha. Goes out to her. It's like a huge bonfire, just there. I really like the bonfire setting, because it's like, this is where the lighting's coming from, and you can see the flames licking the bottom of this camera, the screen, while they're having sex. And while they're having sex, very freaky, they turn into werewolves. They both turn into werewolves at the same time while having sex, and it's a very freaky transformation. I found it really cool just seeing all the practical effects, because there's so many practical effects in this movie. Karen, she's like, oh no, there's something spooky happening here. My good old friend, can you please come over, good old friend? And she does. She does come over. And she's, sneaking about, which I don't think she should be doing. Just sneaking about, looking for clues, seeing what is wrong with this place. I also found it hilarious that she gets attacked by a werewolf. Bam! And then she has an axe. Pew, pew. And I like the part where she chops off a werewolf's hand in order to escape. And speaking of hand, you following me here? Hand. Ham. The vegan boyfriend is eating meat. The vegan boyfriend, after he turns into a werewolf, is eating meat, and no one questions him. If I were there, I'd be like, wait, hold on, I thought you were a vegan. I thought you didn't eat meat. And of course he's like, well, if I'm starving enough, I'll eat anything. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, no. The vegans do not operate like that. I've met a couple of vegans. If they eat meat suddenly, their stomach hurts and they have to go to the bathroom or something. That's why you can't just suddenly eat meat if you're a vegan. You have to introduce it slowly, not just yeah, I'm eating on this chicken bone. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm so satisfied. That's super sus. Karen's friend is snooping about. She snoops into this office where she finds a bunch of case files for the murderer. By the way, his name is Eddie. What an appropriate name for a murderer. If I were also named Eddie, I would be like, man, I hate my name so much, I want to kill people. So, it's very understandable. He comes in, and he starts attacking her. But not even attacking her, he just walks up to her creepy and then turns into a werewolf, which takes forever, by the way. But I really liked how it took forever, because it shows the complete transformation from human to werewolf, including the bones just cracking as you see the snout just coming out. I'm like, ooh, I love these practical effects. By the end of it, he just looks like a wolf human, more wolf than human. You got a whole wolf face with including the ears, and then kind of bipedal, got some really long claws, and it's really cool. I really like this. While Karen's friends is on the phone with her boyfriend, she gets attacked and killed, and so the boyfriend's like, I gotta come. I gotta come with some silver bolts. There are some werewolves about. I've been thinking that there are werewolves about. And that's probably a good assumption, because a secluded place called the Colony, by the way, who's the colony there? Must be a colony of werewolves. And I'm glad that Karen's friend's boyfriend, his name is Chris. Chris is very smart. Goes to help them, and there's just a bunch of werewolves coming to get them. I'm gonna get you. This is the most fun part of the movie, by the way, because the beginning part is a little slow for me, but this is where all the action starts to happen, about halfway to 2/3 away in the movie. And their big brain idea, we gotta kill these werewolves. Let's shoot my good old pal Eddie, who's been thrown acid at because he tried the same thing with Karen. Oh, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna turn into a werewolf. Acid. Good planning. Again, werewolves weren't expecting man-made acids to come along. Ha! Sucks for you, werewolf. But anyway, she's like, alright, I gotta run out. Alright, let's burn this place down. Let's burn it all down. burn the entire place. This is the sound of fires being started. Awesome sauce, just exactly like that. So they leave, but not until, oh no, someone is attacking their car and got Karen. Now she's a werewolf, just as easily as Bill is a werewolf. And it turns out that the werewolf attacking her is Bill. And I'm like, no, not your marriage. Now you gotta get some paper. Now you have to go through the government to change your name and change your paperwork. Luckily, you weren't even using his last name, which is really weird, in my opinion. I don't understand using your last name instead of your husband's last name. But I'm a little traditional when it comes to that, but I do understand hyphen names. Hyphen names are cool, by the way. Why didn't she just do a hyphen name, like White, whatever his last name is? But no, she had to be like, oh, I'm White. Oh, that's not my husband's last name. You have to do so much explaining and then, like, put your husband in a position of, oh, well, I guess I'm being cucked here. So that's my opinion on that. So she's like, oh no, I got scratched. Oh no, I gotta go to the news. I gotta tell everyone about these werewolves. And she goes on TV. Hey everybody, this is very important. I need you to listen to this, please. There are werewolves about. Let me prove it to you. So she turns into a werewolf, and then Chris shoots her right on air. And then they switch to TV. The commercials on TV. The commercials start showing, and you got a bunch of people. I liked this part, by the way. Oh man, these children are super smart who are just watching the TV. You got a parent, they're like, what are y'all watching? And then these two kids are like, well, we just saw the news anchor lady turned into a werewolf and she got shot. I'm like, that's exactly what happened. At a bar, some dude is ordering a steak. He's like, special effects. And I'm just thinking, you don't understand how special effects work, do you? You're not educated in the special effect of everything. You can't just change into a werewolf on air, because usually the news is one recording. I don't know if the news is usually live. Sometimes they are, but it's quite unfortunate to see that everyone's like, oh, special effects. It really reminds me of the whole, CGI is bad argument, without, like, anyone knowing what they're talking about. Because this is the exact same instance, and I'm equally as frustrated. I'm like, no, you just saw a werewolf. Dang it. This is like Harrison Bergeron, right? Where Harrison is like, hey, I'm gonna show everyone jazz and tell everyone about this whole secret society thing, and then, like, only 1% of the population's like, yeah, that makes sense. Everyone else is like, oh, it must be a special effect thing. I'm like, no, this is so lost. Super lost on the public. But anyway, at a bar, speaking at the bar with the guy with the steak, he's like, oh, must be special effects, and guess who's there? Martha. Unscathed. She's like, well, don't you know that werewolves are real? Or something like that. But it's more ambiguous than that. And the guy's like, yeah, right. And then she orders herself a rare burger. And I'm just thinking, I know this is like late 70s, early 80s when this movie comes out, but do they serve rare burgers? I've definitely worked at a lot of restaurants where the minimum you can serve a burger is medium rare. So this is fun. This is the fun nod that she is actually a werewolf. She just wants to eat the meat with it having all the pink inside. Just like blood. Yeah, she's werewolf blood meat. Get it? That's how the movie ends. And I found that to be very spooky. The practical effects, I definitely already mentioned that they are good. But I gotta mention them again, that they are pretty great. I can't imagine how much time and effort it took for the practical effects to be made, be shot, and just the transformation scene. We got like all the thumb spike growing. Not thumb spike, thumb claw growing. And the ears and the mouth and the snout is... I'm like, whoa, this is so cool. I really want this to be in more movies. And I'm kind of sad that there's not a ton of practical effects. I mean, I like CGI if it's done well. But, you know, practical effects hold a dear place in my heart. A nice little place. I'm not soulless when it comes to practical effects. The cinematography is fun. I like the establishing shots, then following the characters. You know, that sort of stuff. Very fun. And the werewolves, very spooky. And so I gotta give this movie a solid 6.6 out of 10. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video with everyone you know. The goal of this channel is for me to become an expert film watcher. So if I haven't reviewed it, there's a chance I haven't even seen it. So request a movie in the comments below. Or you can fast track that request at patreon.com/ASCpresents for $20 a month. You get one movie request per 1 month. And also on patreon.com/ASCpresents, $3 a month, you get some daily vlogs. How fancy is that? It's pretty nice. So go to patreon.com/ASCpresents. And if you want to help support this channel, go to this link tree. It includes my NSFW content link, and I think you'll really enjoy it, but also it helps all these movie reviews keep on going. So go to this link tree right here, and my goal right now for movies to watch is about 2,000. Because the math is, one movie is 2 hours approximately. And I want to have 10,000 hours when it comes to movies. Because that makes you an expert. And so I want to have 2,000 movies underneath my belt. Because that math works out, totally. So yeah, go to this link tree right here and you'll help everything. Until next time, I'm Mint Salad Sauce. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.